Hello, everyone. Jen Wells here to interview Brooke Miles of Delaware Shoutout. Brooke is absolutely amazing. She has helped me from pretty much the get-go with my own business, Jen Wells Design. When I started networking, I met Brooke and she gave me so many tips and pointers for how to get out there in the Delaware markets and start getting my business going. I'm excited to talk to Brooke today because I've been seeing her videos pop up all over the place. And so we're going to talk about how to get going with that. But we're also going to waste a couple minutes because we're a little bit early. So hi, Brooke. Say hi to everyone.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Sorry. We're both giddy today.
Yeah. I just realized I probably have to do that intro again in a couple minutes.
Yes, but hey, two intros are better than one. That's what I always say. Actually, I don't ever say that, but yeah, we'll say it now.
Well, if you're editing video for later, then I guess as many takes as you want is good.
Yes.
But with live, you just have to watch it twice.
Yes.
Okay, let me find this video on Facebook so I can monitor for comments, which we like to do. There we are. Okay. 1 minute to go. How are you doing today, Brooke?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. Thank you. And how are you?
I'm good. As you already noted, I'm kind of giddy. I have been in a bit of a slump, and I was pretty open about that on social media because I made new affirmations of how I'm going to get out of it. And I've been working out for the first time in a while.
Good.
And yeah. And the most surprising thing that was helping me get out of this slump was networking. Because as an introvert, I was like, oh, I'm burned out. I shouldn't talk to people. That'll just drain more of my energy. And then Jane so gently pointed out that we need to start networking. And so I went to a NABO event, and the women there were so like supportive and energetic and excited. And by the end of that, I was like, yes, I need to go to another event. And I was ready to go. So yeah, that was my surprise get out of slump tip that I never would have expected or told anyone about.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, in-person networking is so important. It really is.
Yeah.
So,
It wasn't even in person.
Digital. Oh, it was virtual.
It was Zoom, and it was
awesome.
Still.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I do as much for virtual networking as possible. And that is, the last couple of weeks have been a little slow with networking, but otherwise it's been, I really believe in it. And I find that sometimes the virtual networking people are even more serious about getting to know you. There's something slightly more intentional with the virtual networking, and I haven't put my finger on it, but it's just an impression I've gotten, and a couple other people have noticed too. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And I don't know why. Like, what's the difference between showing up at your computer versus showing up at a physical location?
Yeah.
There's no bar.
Right.
All right, it's 101. So I'm going to do a brief reintroduction for those of you who are just now joining us. It's me, Jen. And over here we have Brooke Miles. Brooke is the president of Delaware Shoutout, which is a social media marketing agency. I feel like I don't even really have to introduce you guys to Delaware Shoutout because they're kind of a big deal. Yeah, I had heard of Delaware Shoutout long before I ever met Brooke. But if you don't know, I'll go ahead and let Brooke give you kind of the backstory and introduce her company.
Okay, great. Well, thanks. Well, hi, everyone. So my company, Delaware Shoutout, we've been around since 2014. And really my goal is to help busy entrepreneurs look great on social media, outshine their competitors on social media, and be proud of their social media presence. But again, in a way that's like streamlined and practical, that, you know, works with what they have and the little time they have. And practically all of what we do is training and strategy. And it's been, and really I just get a lot of joy in teaching people how to fish and showing them that it could be a lot easier and a lot simpler if they just do it this way versus that way. Because a lot of times people are spinning their wheels with social media, but you can do it in a lot better way and a lot smarter way. And so I just try to teach people that. And always, also with social media, there's always a ton of troubleshooting because there are always new features and glitches. And so I'm just trying to hold people's hands throughout that as well. So that way they can survive it. So that's what I do, and I like it.
Completely off topic, but how do you stay up to speed when Facebook, I mean, all of them, but Facebook in particular, I feel like every month there's something new. Like, do you follow, I don't know, Facebook releases their updates. Is there a way to follow that so you know what they are?
Actually, first of all, it's impossible to keep up to date with every single thing, especially when you're trying to keep up with every single platform.
Yeah.
But what I find is a couple things. First of all, because I'm like constantly reading social media articles, and also because I'm constantly working with my clients' different accounts and all their different things they're trying to do, I'm constantly seeing new things that way, and seeing, what used to be one way just changed, the next day. So there were even like a couple times that I literally had to give a presentation one day, and like that morning the platform changed like drastically.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, let's go through this together. So it's impossible to stay up to every single thing, but what I find is I have so much exposure hours every single day that I can stay pretty up to date.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah.
do a little bit of social media marketing, but if you want to like get down into the nitty gritty with the platforms, then you need to go to Brooke, because I
Okay.
will be surprised at the same time that you are that there's a new feature coming out. Like, oh, and if you want to run like I don't know, a premiere video or something, I've seen that feature around. I never used it. Yeah, it's really hard to stay up to date. I feel like even if that's what you do 100% of the time. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about, even though I would love to pick Brooke's brain about social media. She's not here to give me a free consultation. She is here to talk about video. So,
Yes.
Brooke, let's talk about what inspired you to start tackling video content.
Okay, great. So, I'd done like a couple videos here or there, and my YouTube channel is about as old as my company, which is 6 years old. But I will tell you about a few months into the pandemic. So, like, let's look at, the summer or so. I'm realizing that the pandemic's not going away anytime soon. And also I'm on the spectrum in terms of people who are like scared versus like totally fine with going out there and doing in-person stuff. I'm on the like far scared end of it. So, practically everything I need to do is virtual. And, and I knew, and I've always been telling clients, video, 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 but was I really doing it myself? So I thought, you know what, let me go ahead and just start doing, instead of spending my time writing articles, which again, I'm more of a writer than a speaker per se. Let me just get completely out of my comfort zone and just more regularly turn those blog articles or start a whole new blog article, but in video form. So that's kind of how it got started, because I need to be able to connect with people in an engaging way and do things differently, because the pandemic is not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, actually, that's interesting because I know a lot of things have changed, because we can't see each other in person, but it wouldn't have occurred to me that people are consuming content differently now, if it's online. But yeah, video is definitely the way to go. And if you guys need stats to prove it, we could probably dig some up, but I feel like
Yes.
it's such common knowledge at this point that I didn't even feel the need to try to defend it.
And I would say people are consuming content differently. It's just they're consuming a lot more of it. And video
Oh,
has always been the number one thing anyway.
yeah.
But I was kind of shying away from it. But you know what? If
Oh, we might be like the late adopters of video. And I'm saying we because, Brooke was saying she likes to write, and that's my first go-to as well. So here we are, like, I would love to read blogs all day. I'd love to write blogs all day, but video is what people want. So it's time to just do it and rip off that
Yes,
Band-Aid,
yeah.
which is what we're talking about today. Now that you've gotten into video, are there benefits to creating it that you didn't expect?
I didn't expect as much buzz as I'm getting.
Oh,
Like a lot. Like a lot. I know I've gotten at least one speaking engagement from my videos, from some organization I did not expect to hear from. There are people who are watching them that I wasn't expecting. I'm also getting, I've always gotten some LinkedIn engagement, because I'm on LinkedIn all the time. If you're business to business, LinkedIn is, the place to be. But I mean, I'm getting so much LinkedIn engagement. I mean, I really need to check my LinkedIn notifications at least a couple times a day, because there's usually someone I need to thank for sharing or, commenting on their comment or anything of that nature. I mean, literally, I have to do that because I'm not getting the email notifications quickly enough from LinkedIn. So I have to actually go in, and that has been really amazing. And I will tell you too, now the types of videos I'm doing are very time consuming, and you can do your videos a lot faster than I do, and we can talk about that. But I will say that for as much time as I'm putting into it, I'm having a lot of fun. I really am. video is like, it's just an art form. And I just, it's out of my comfort zone, but I'm having a blast.
Yeah, that is awesome. Actually, since you mentioned it, let's talk about different ways to do video content. Or you said,
Mhm.
you know, it's not always this time consuming. So what are, you know, for example, this is a live video. So
Yes.
I guess just what are some different ways people could apply it from
Okay.
least intensive to most time intensive?
Okay, so the least time intensive would be Facebook Live, yeah, or a Zoom event, you know. And obviously, there's still some preparation needed in terms of promoting it and all that, of course. But that would be with anything. And you still want to really have an idea of what you're going to be talking about. How are you going to introduce? You know, for example, you know, because you want to kind of, you know, just create excitement from the very beginning. But as obviously with something like Facebook Live or any type of live streaming, as you're talking, it's recording, and then it's going to be published, as you know, as long as you're, you know, fine with it. And you know, so that would be the least time intensive. And I will tell you, Facebook Live doesn't necessarily fit every single personality type. And I'm really impressed by you, Jen, because you know, you say you're an introvert, and introverts are like the least likely people to do Facebook Live. But you know, if you don't have like hours and hours and hours and hours, and you just want to be able to connect with people, it's a great way to do it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something like what we're doing. It could be, for example, let's say you want to share like, you know, tips for about a minute on a particular topic, and you just want to tell your audience something, or answer a frequently asked question, or dispel a myth, or show people how to do something, you know, anything of that nature. You literally just need your phone. Okay. Now I did upgrade from an iPhone 6 Plus to an iPhone 11 Pro Max. I will tell you that, but I had to anyway. My phone was dying, so it was worth it. So that's on one end of the spectrum. Then you could also, for example, pre-record videos, but you're doing very little editing, maybe, or maybe you have someone else do it. Maybe you're just like trimming off the beginning, trimming off the end, you know, where you're setting up the camera and all that stuff. You know, and you know, so you can certainly do that. And then what I'm doing is I'm pre-recording, but I'm also like, for example, doing a lot of like, I didn't even know it was called B-roll, but basically like, you know, video over video, and I'm cutting to different shots, and I'm doing more and more of that. I literally am doing, I script everything. These are the 2 videos I'm shooting today, later this afternoon. So, and that does take hours. So I will tell you, if you want like a total finished product, it's going to take either hours of your time, or you need to hire someone to at least edit your videos, which will cost money. But so it really depends on your time, your personality, and your budget. But I would recommend getting started with something, because it can really only help you.
I feel like sometimes people think about video, especially like promotional video for their business. Also, Jane says hi, and she's commenting a lot. And I promise, Jane, we will get to those questions. And anybody else who's paying attention and wants to comment or question, I am paying attention to Facebook, so please like let us know your thoughts and let us know if you have questions. We'll get to
Sorry
those.
about that. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm
So
coughing on Facebook Live. This wouldn't happen on pre-recorded. I just want to let you know.
but it's more charming, right? This is
Yeah,
the
I'm
real
like dying
us,
here.
our real coughing fits.
I'm gonna have more. My throat is really scratchy. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Okay, well, just so everyone's warned now. So I was going to ask about like professional videographers, because I feel like some people think about promotional videos for their company, and they're like, oh, I got to hire someone. I have to get it professionally produced or developed, and it just seems really overwhelming. But you know, here we are on Zoom recording this, and this will be a video on YouTube later. So how, at what level do you actually need all that stuff, and when
Right.
can you get by with just like recording yourself with your webcam?
Right. Well, I mean, it does depend on your budget. I mean, if you had all the money in the world, if I had all the money in the world, unlimited, I would do a professional videographer for every single thing. Okay. But that's not going to happen for practically all of us. Okay. So, but what I would say at the very least, you know, how like if you have like like the promotional video for your company that's, you know, 2 or 3 minutes long, I would put your best foot forward and do a professional videographer for that. And then also testimonial videos, like if you're doing something a little bit more glossy, you know, that can be really helpful as well. And if you can hire a professional videographer for everything else, that'd be great too. I can't do that, not at 2 videos a week with an average of 4 to 5 minutes of video. I'd be in major debt, right? If I did that. So I have to do it myself. So yeah, you just have to kind of pick and choose with that. But I would say the majority of what you do, it's not going to look as pretty, but it might be even a little more charming when you do it yourself.
Yeah, I rely on that idea of charm. I hope people find me charming because I am not planning ahead. I wing most of my content. And even, for example, for this video, if you're wondering how much time went into this, I think Brooke and I had the idea in a call that was for something else. And then I spent maybe 10 minutes coming up with the questions list. And then that was it. And like maybe I should have brainstormed a little bit more to do smoother introductions. I don't really for any of my people because I feel like no matter what I say, I'm not going to capture the essence of their business as well as they are. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm very comfortable just winging it. I don't know why, because video initially was very scary. And Brooke, actually, if you're willing to share, what was the scariest thing about getting started for you? Because we mentioned that it was like intimidating to get started.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I will tell you, I remember someone once told me, and this was sometime during my Delaware shout out career, it's like, you're really much better on the phone than you are in person. And like stuff like that, or it's like like I have the what is the face for radio? I forget what it is. Not exactly that, but the point is, I could be a little bit awkward. I can be a little quirky. I will tell you, for those women who are on this Facebook Live right now, a lot of us, and I am included on this, have just insecurities about our looks, and we overblow what these problems are, and I nip it by myself more than you might think, and I think sometimes I appear very confident, but I'm not always that confident. So I just want to let you know that should not hold you back from doing this, but. The one thing that scared me a bit, and thankfully I did some more research and I found out that I was like normal with this, is when you do YouTube videos, you can get like a zillion analytics, and one of them is you can actually see audience retention, and you can play the video and there's a little graph that shows where you're losing people, okay? Which is really scary. And what I found was like within the first like 8 seconds of someone looking at me, they're like, ah, and they left. But it turns out that this is like a normal thing. Like I saw like really charts of really successful people who like are gorgeous and are like have like more than 1 million followers, and they also have that. So I was like, okay, that's okay. So sometimes you might get a comment, or you might see some form of analytics that are a little scary, but it could be very well that other people experience that too.
Yeah, well, and I guess I'm not that surprised that people drop off so soon, because websites you get what, 3 seconds for people to decide whether or not they're going to stay. So
Yeah.
video you get a full 8 seconds.
I
That's
don't get that.
awesome.
I don't get that. If I start a video, it's because I want to at least try to watch it. I mean, I'll like try to get halfway through, depending on what it is. It's.
Maybe it's the people browsing, just like flipping through, trying to find their next thing,
I
right?
think they should more carefully decide what they're doing, because it's hard to
Well, I was gonna say, if you're like me, I'm a very deliberate video watcher.
Yes, me
It has to
too.
captivate me to make me even want to get started.
Yes.
But my friend is on videos all day, so it's complete opposite.
Funny.
Okay, I am gonna pull some questions from Facebook because I've been ignoring you guys. Jane wanted some tips to keep videos being posted consistently or with consistency.
Okay. Basically, I have a schedule. You have to have a schedule. And this is whether it's for video, whether it's for posting on social media, whether it's for writing blog articles, it doesn't matter. You have to put on the calendar. So for me, it's Friday afternoons. I mean, except for last week when I was traveling, okay, except for last week, I am doing now for the last like couple months, 2 videos every single week, and I film them on Friday to be scheduled to go out the following Tuesday and Thursday. And I even have it on my calendar. Okay, it goes out at 10 o'clock in the morning on those days, and then I need to be able to make sure that I write a post on LinkedIn. So I have everything. You have to put everything on the calendar. That's the biggest tip I can give you. But I will tell you, if like 2 videos a week is like too aggressive for you, then maybe you just want to start with like 1 every other week just to like get started. Put it in the calendar. Even if you have to put in the calendar, okay, I'm going to spend an hour because I haven't done video before just preparing for this. Okay, then put that in the calendar too. But if you don't put in the calendar, you're just going to let it go. And you have to put in the calendar, just like you put in a doctor's appointment or a Zoom call, or this is an appointment with yourself to help your business, because, and having an appointment with yourself is probably even more important than the other appointments that you can have out there. I hope that helps.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting caught up. So we have another question. How do you balance a video on a topic that's interesting for you versus interesting for your audience?
Okay, this is actually really interesting because when I used to just write blog articles, I would just write whatever was on my mind, like, which usually matched the audience, but not always. But what I found, it depends on what you're focusing on, but if you're focusing on YouTube, there is and there are different tools out there. The one I use is called TubeBuddy. So think of tube like YouTube and then buddy like friend and make it all one word, okay? And there's a free version. I do the $15 a month version. But what it allows you to do is it says you can actually type in like keywords and key phrases and see what people are searching for and what topics are there not enough videos for, but a lot of people are searching for it. So now what I do is like, I'm still thinking of things that I really like, but I check it with TubeBuddy first and make sure that there's enough of an audience and not enough competition. So that has been an amazing tool for me because, I mean, really, I really want to grow my Facebook audience and anything I can do to help ensure that my video isn't just serving my very cherished Delaware market, but that other people see it in searches. I need to make sure I'm using TubeBuddy. So I love that tool.
Yeah, Brooke showed that to me last time we talked, and it was amazing. Like the level of details you could get from that, I think it was even better than the keyword analysis tools I've seen for Google for SEO for websites. So I was like, all right, video might be the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so skating through for more questions. What steps do you use when creating a video, and about how long does it take you from start to finish?
Oh gosh. Okay. So keep in mind, I'm on the far end of preparation, like of how long it takes to do things. Okay. I don't want to scare you, but I'm going to scare you by telling you that it takes me total 11 or 12 hours from start to finish per video. And I'm doing this twice a week in addition to living my life. Okay. Which is hard. It's really hard. Okay. But I have a goal in mind, so we're fine with that. But the reason it takes so long is, first of all, it probably takes me about an hour and a half to, first of all, I'm searching for topics on TubeBuddy, and I have some ideas in mind, but I want to check everything out. And then I'm also researching what tags I'm going to put on there. Like I'm really trying to go deep into analytics here. Then I spend time scripting everything out and researching because like I know a lot about the topic, but I will tell you one great thing about video or writing blog articles is you get to learn a topic extremely well, and it can only serve your clients even better when you become even more of an expert than you even thought you were. So anyway, I'm spending a lot of time. I script everything. So there's like one of the videos I'm doing today is on how to use emojis in your email subject line and best practices and things to avoid. So like you'll see. I can't really see, but I have like the tags here. I have some notes right here. Here's the entire script that I have and some other preparations I have to do. And then I have one for a Facebook video that I'm doing. So I do all that. It probably only takes about 30 to 40 minutes to actually video, but I will tell you, like, I'm only getting about 4 or 5 minutes of actual real video out of it because I get nervous in front of my own camera. So there's a lot I have to edit out. And then it takes whatever time is remaining. I don't do math really well, but that is the time left for editing. And then also uploading on YouTube actually is really fast. It's the editing part that takes the longest. It takes hours. I would say 70% of my time is spent just editing. And I thought I was like really being stupid, but it turns out I've heard from a lot of really experienced YouTubers that it's the editing. It just takes so long. So that's why I'm just saying, if you want to do this type of video, be aware you're either going to be spending a lot of time doing it, or you really should hire someone.
Yeah. And if you're wondering why it takes so long, just imagine you have to rewatch that video over and over and over again. So if it's an hour-long video, you're watching that hour-long video, I don't know, 10 times to see for places you can edit.
It just, yeah, but then also I'm overlaying different things, and I'm trying to like speed things up and slow things down and add music. You have to understand, I'm really trying to like make this really good. And I'm not a movie, I'm not like, name whatever famous director out there. Okay, I'm not them. But I'm really trying to make it a really quality video. So I would, again, if I'm like scaring any of you guys off, like start with Facebook Live, okay?
Yeah, like we said, 10 minutes of prep for this one.
Yes, way easier. I think Jen might be the smarter one of the two of us here. So I'm just saying.
When we talked about this before, I was kind of curious because I was like, maybe we should start upscaling these videos and make video production part of our company promotional efforts. And then after talking to Brooke, I was like, no, I know myself.
Sorry.
I don't want to spend that money. But I mean, it's fine because I think the live videos work for what they are, and then just don't expect them to be more, right? Oh, Kelsey Styles says, I'm up for hire. What do you do, Kelsey? Are you a video editor? We might have a new video editor to solve that problem for everybody.
That'd be cool.
And Michelle McCann says, awesome stuff, Brooke.
Hi, Michelle. It's good to hear from you.
All right, guys. If you have any more questions, go ahead and drop them in there. But I think we're going to start wrapping up. Actually, one more question. We talked about your story about getting started and people who made it scarier than it probably should have been by giving you negative feedback. And I still get mad when I hear about that. Because who tells someone like you're awkward in person or you shouldn't be on video? Right. You just do it and you get better at it, right? That's how it works. Yeah. So other than that, what are some of the biggest obstacles you've had as you've gotten into video creation?
Really, it's just a matter of just constantly being out of my comfort zone. That's literally it. Like, and I'm sure you've ever seen the Venn diagram where you have like the little circle and it says like your comfort zone, and then there's like the big circle not touching it that says like this is where the magic happens. So yeah. I'm constantly trying to be in that magic happen circle. So for example, I just got a tripod yesterday because the one I had, like, if some of you might watch some of my previous videos and it looks like a table's tilted, it's because my old tripod wasn't working. So think about like my camera was tilted. So I had to get a new tripod and it was pretty inexpensive. But the point is like, I got the tripod. I'm like, okay, how do I open this? Like, what do I do? Like, people think I'm techie. I'm really not. Like, I don't even know how to use our homes. Like we have a DVD player at home. Like, I don't know where the remote is, what it looks like, and if I got it, like, how do I use it? Like, I'm really bad at stuff like this. So like, I got a tripod. I'm like, oh my gosh, like there are different things I have to pull, and how do I get the phone in? So I'm just, but you know, my goal is to, I want to monetize on YouTube, and I want to grow my audience. And if I have to learn how to use a tripod and, you know, deal with, you know, just a lot of time spent right now until I get a video editor and all that stuff, I'm going to do this because this is super important to me. And I'm having a lot of fun despite the time, a lot of fun. And it's creating excitement with my marketing. So the upside is way more than the downside completely.
All right. Some tips for people who are thinking about getting started.
I think what you do need to do is gauge, what your time and budget is, okay? And budget also being how much time you have in general, and also your personality type. You might really want to start with Facebook Live or any type of live stream and just see how you feel with that first, because that is such an easy way to start. I mean, I wouldn't say start with like the full-blown pre-recorded videos and learn how to video edit and, you know, get the special microphone. I would start with something simple and then kind of work your way up. I mean, I had done a little bit of Facebook Live beforehand before realizing that's just not me. I prefer creating little bits of art, if that makes sense, but that was my personality. But you know, I would start with what is the least expensive and the least time consuming. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I guess kind of to back that up, it's okay to try different things and see what feels right for you. Because I know yes. I would never have guessed that I prefer live video to pre-recording it. But you know what? When I pre-record, I get in my head, I record the same thing 3 times, and then I use the first one because it was the best one.
Oh
gosh. Jane's commenting on her tripod struggles, which I got to witness the other day when she got out a tripod she hadn't used for years.
Aww.
And it was about waist height or chest height maybe. And so, you know, we're taking headshots and we're getting this angle.
Oh, no.
And after doing this for maybe an hour, she's like, there's got to be a way for it to get taller. And there was a little handle.
Oh, I would be just like you guys.
Yeah.
Totally,
yeah.
Totally.
Well, I'm not going to take credit for that one. That was Jane's tripod.
Okay, got it.
And then Michelle's commenting, go Brooke, make the magic happen.
Thank
which
you.
We know Michelle. You will. You make lots of magic happen.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Brooke, how can the people in this group best support you?
I would be so grateful if you haven't already subscribed to the Delaware Shoutout YouTube channel. Delaware Shoutout is all one word. Delaware Shoutout YouTube channel. You're going to find fantastic content. I primarily focus on Facebook, LinkedIn, and email marketing. But you know, and the videos just get better and better each time. So, and you'll see a progression if you want to look at that to make yourself feel better, especially the earlier videos. But the point is that you'll get really great content, and that will help me reach my goal to monetize as well. And the more subscribers I have, the more watch time I have, and the more YouTube will send my video out to other people as well. So it really helps me out immensely if you can subscribe. And that just means that you're more likely to be notified of a video when it comes out. It's completely free.
It's not a huge commitment.
No, it's not. It's a very simple commitment, and I would be incredibly grateful to
and I know,
watching.
because I subscribed with every one of my accounts.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Okay, so YouTube link is in the comments, as is the link to, I already forgot what it's called, TubeBuddy.
Yes.
So if you guys are interested in following up with either of those, it's in the comments for you. And then if you ever want to find Brooke or reach out to her, I think your contact info is on your website, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And also on the YouTube channel.
Oh, and on the YouTube channel. Okay, so if you want to get in touch with Brooke, or if you want to talk to her about social media or watch her videos, head on over to YouTube.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out and asking questions and engaging with us. And thank you so much, Brooke, for being willing to do this. I was really looking forward to this conversation. It was so much fun.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay.